Hello everyone, welcome back to I See Melanie. Today we're talking about my favorite TV show, Interview with the Vampire Lestat. FYI, I'm still experiencing some issues with my microphone. I thought I fixed it. I clearly haven't, so at some points my audio gets a little glitchy. It's a little annoying, but it's not too bad, so please bear with me. I apologize for the inconvenience, and hopefully I finally get the situation rectified very soon. So I'm recording this on Friday, April the 10th, and yesterday a little teaser came out. So these are, I think this might be the third or fourth little clip like this that has come out. It's very, very short, it's black and white, it's some outtakes from the interview process with Loustat on tour. And this one features our boy, my love, Louis de Pointe de Lac. So we're going to review that, and also since, again, these are very short, they're like 10 seconds long each, they're very short. So I'll actually look back at the previous two as well. So we'll look at 3 today and just talk about it. The one I saw yesterday was Louis, just made me smile because I can't wait for this new season. So I'll turn to my screen and let's watch it together. Okay, so Louis with the book, being interviewed. Lestat in one word.
Vain.
That's pretty apt, I'd say, and his music.
Passable. You can dance to it.
Have you read the book by Daniel Malloy?
What is this for? We done?
Oh.
Thank you.
Okay, let's watch it quickly one more time. It's only about 30 seconds. So we see him, okay, it's day 25 of his interview. And Louis there with the book. You see him just toss it, across because he's kind of frustrated.
Vain.
And vain. Louis looks like he's so uncomfortable.
Passable. You can dance
Passable and dance to it. And okay, have you read the book?
to it. What is this for? We done?
He's so cute.
Thank you.
I thought this was so funny because clearly you can tell he's doing it grudgingly, which leads me to wonder why he's even doing this. And I think maybe the scene at the lawyer's office will explain, because I'm guessing that they are hashing out some kind of an arrangement having to do with the book and the fallout of the book. And in the clip that we saw from STC or NYCC, we see Daniel and Louis at a restaurant talking, and Daniel's talking about the inception of this whole interview process with Loustat. So anyway, yeah, so you see him, he's like grudgingly there when somebody asks him, a word to describe Loustat. There are many words to describe Loustat. Vain is very accurate, not the most flattering, obviously, but extremely accurate. And you can tell Louis looks like he's like sucking a lemon, like, oh gosh. And then when he's asked what the music is like, and he says it's passable and you can dance to it. So we saw Lestat kind of freak out when Louis said it was nice. To go from nice to passable, that's a bit of a downgrade, right? And, you can dance to it like it has a rhythm, like most songs do. And once again, I think this is prime Louis just trying to rile Lestat up. And this reminds me, when I saw this, I'm like, this is like 1973 all over again. When he was talking to Daniel in that home in San Francisco, and he said that, Lestat played with no emotion, and he just like kind of plunked on the piano keys, and he had like nothing to him musically. And we know that's not true. And it was never expressly said, at least not in the TV show, that Louis did both these interviews, the 73 interview and the 2022 interview, to rile Lestat up, to wake him up from wherever, to get him to come to him. It's never expressed said, but that's the impression I get. Again, like I have mentioned in several videos, Louis knows how to get Lestat's goat. And they're in a weird situation right now, a bit of limbo with a friendship. And so he's saying this to rile him up and to get Lestat, coming back to him in some form of passion, and being all flustered with Louis, saying like, you said it was passable, it's danceable, that's it. He did it for a reason. And then the last part, what was the last part again? He asked like if he read the book, and he said yes, he read the book, kind of grudgingly. And then, hold on, why am I forgetting what he said? Let me look at this again.
What is this for?
And what's it for? I'm sure he has an idea why he's there.
We done?
Then he's like, can I get out of here? I'll look poised, but like, can I get out of here? Because this is really, really uncomfortable. And so I just think this is so funny because this is again Louis playing a game, and he knows he's playing a game, and I cannot wait to see these two men interact on screen. Because side note, I did see them filming a couple of times. I won't say what I saw, but I did see them filming, but I couldn't hear anything, and it was so funny for somebody who like went to the screenings, or not the screenings, went to the filming so many times. I went there, but I'm like, I don't really want to know anything. I want to be surprised because, I'm seeing these scenes play out. I can't hear what they're saying. I have no context for what they're doing, and who knows, like those scenes could be, cut for whatever reason. So yeah, like I am chomping at the bit, less than 2 months, to see what their interaction is going to be like. But again, like I said, I assume they're going to be playing games with each other because they've been doing that for the past 2 seasons anyway. I just can't wait to see that unfold on screen. And even though Louis didn't really say too much, I can still hear his NOLA accent coming through, and I love it. I love when he speaks with his real accent. And Jacob Anderson is he's so good with the accent work. That's one thing. I'm not an actor. I'm a background actor. I'll be in a couple of things in, oh God, I don't even know when these things are releasing, but I'm not an actor. And I'm not very good with accents either, but he's so skilled. Anyway, okay, let's look at the next one. So this one was like from a couple of days ago, or I don't know. It was from a while back. And so this is with Daniel Malloy and Loustat. Okay, so this interview is on day 24. I forgot to mention, but the last one was on day 25. So this is a day previous to Louis' little interview. Daniel's loving Vampire Life. Are you happy that's out? How it turned out?
I only make great stuff. When I do interviews, I have 3 jobs. 1, get the story. 2, make sure it's true. And 3, make it interesting. That's all in that book.
Oh my gosh.
Except for some added material that I didn't add.
So I saw this when it came out 2 weeks ago or whenever. And I guess maybe I didn't listen to the whole thing, didn't look at the whole thing, but I missed that last part where he says, except for some added material that he didn't add. That's a very interesting choice of words. In essence, he left something out. So he left some context out, and perhaps that is why Louis is upset with him now, because he left out something crucial. Or maybe he's upset that Lestat's upset with him now that he knows him and sees how much of a larger-than-life character he is. But anyway, going back to Daniel, he's thriving. He's thriving in this vampiric life. So, yeah, he does just good work. Look at that smile. He's smiling ear to ear.
Look, I only make great stuff. When I do
Confident.
interviews, I have 3 jobs. 1, get the story.
Lestat.
2, make sure it's true. And 3, make it interesting. That's all in that book.
Okay, this part here, we see Sam and his jawline. Okay, so again, I met Sam once, and I've seen him like 10 other times. And so there was this one night where I was at the filming, and he was there. And I got there, my friends were there already. And I was having one of those days where I was just like really disoriented. I was disoriented all day. And so it's like, oh yeah, look, he's across the street. I'm like, I don't see him. Like, where is he? Whatever. So like 5 minutes later, I see somebody walk out of a place, and all I saw was jawline. They're like, oh yeah, that's Sam. Like his jawline, like on TV, it looks really good, but in person, it's striking. He's a beautiful man. Anyway, yeah, so that was the interaction with Daniel and, well, mostly Daniel. And then let's talk about the one from maybe 2 or 3 weeks ago now with the band. Okay, day 24. So the same day as the last video.
Roll sound, please. Sounds be quiet, please.
View the book.
Skimmed it.
I believe that.
Sure is helpful having a famous guy lead your band, so shout outs to Daniel Malloy.
For making our lives,
Yeah, a lot easier.
and sometimes a lot more unsafe.
Well, yeah.
Lestat's a real vampire, and we're probably all gonna die.
Is he gonna see this?
I think that's so funny because, yeah, they believe he's a real vampire. And like I mentioned in a few videos, I believe that this in here, the bandmate, I'm pretty sure she is the person who we saw in that teaser from late February, who was drumming in the window across the street from Loustat. So that's like his neighbor. And so you took up with them to be in the band together. Now, yeah, they mentioned that, having Loustat being their front man, obviously that's going to be a draw because he's commanding. I'm sure he's financing everything for the tour, so he's good to have. But also, he's the subject of a very infamous book, and he's angry, and he is a vampire. And we know that, as it said in all the press, Roland, everyone says that like this book is going to upend the world and upend the vampire world. So they're like, okay, yeah, we're really popular, but we're also kind of targets, and we might be targets of other vampires or other worldly types. So that's not too great because, who wants to be attacked by a bunch of superhumans essentially? So I think that's interesting. So yeah, I want to see what their dynamic is amongst the bandmates and how well they will deal with somebody like Lestat, because if you think of it, other vampires, Louis or Daniel or Armand or anybody else, Lestat's a lot. Lestat's a lot, and they're all vampires. And so if he's a lot, he's kind of their boss in a way, and he's a different species from them, and he's kind of fierce. It's kind of scary. So yeah, so like these clips are so short, and I didn't really think to make a video on them because they are so short, but now that we've got 3 of them back to back, I'll do that. So again, it's April 10th, so we have less than 2 months until the big day, and I can't wait. I will try to wait patiently, and I'm hoping that AMC gives us more little teasers or interviews or some kind of content to make that wait a bit more bearable. And of course, I'll be back here when something big drops or a collection of small things drop. So make sure you like, you share, you subscribe, you put the notification bell so you don't miss out on any other videos I have planned. I do have some things not related to TV at all. Some things related to this set coming out, a little DIY project. I also plan on doing a video or doing reviews on Euphoria. So I'm not even caught up on all the episodes yet. I will be by the time the new episode comes out on Sunday. So next week, maybe by Tuesday, I'll have that video out. So anyway, make sure you like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And I'll see you later here on I See Melanie. Okay? Bye.